Thursday morning, October 7. Life Formation Mission Academy again. Welcome to this edition of the Anchor of Hope as we begin the day with the Word of God, allowing us to see through this series of Anchor of Hope called Power for Learning, how we can continue to draw the ability that we need in order to learn, in order that we can maximize our work and things we are doing in the classroom. When we say classroom here, of course, it's online classrooms right now. Through our study, reading books, the textbooks, doing the exercises, doing the homeworks, how can we be able to really make the most out of it? And this is what this power for learning is about. God desires us to grow and increase in knowledge. But again, increasing in knowledge involves several things. And we have seen three of the keys that are necessary for this power for learning. We saw the key of discipline. We saw the key of diligence. And then last week, we saw the key of wisdom. All of these three are very important aspects and components that will help us. But let me just spend this day continuing to lay the depth of these three keys for power of learning, so that we can, as we begin the day, we go to our homeroom classes in a while, we can apply this. And I would just like to draw from the reading of St. Paul from Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 9. This is what it says here. In verse 24 of 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Do you know that those who run in a race all run, but only one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may win. And everyone who competes in the games exercises self-control in all things. They then do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. Therefore I run in such a way as not without aim. I box in such a way as not beating the air. But I buffet my body and make it my slave, lest possibly, after I have preached to others, I myself should be disqualified. From the words of St. Paul, which was part of our reading several weeks ago, we saw here the need to see that our life is destined for victory. The theme for this month, I know where I am going. We are going to the destiny God has intended us to go to. That destiny is a life of victory, a life of victorious living, a life of abundance. And beginning with that, it says here, winning that is compared to like an athlete who prepares for a contest. The contest that you and I are preparing for by our studies is the contest called life. Your life, after going to school, after high school and after college, you are going to enter another world, a world of professionals, a world of work, a world where business and commerce are part of the things that happen. And in all of these areas, it is your ability to cope with the things that they are doing so that you are able to maximize and obtain what it is. Especially for the small, younger students. Many of these things you are still unaware of. All you know is dad and mom buys the food and you eat you have a house to live, you have clothes to wear, but other things you don't have any concern with yet. And maybe even in the high school students. But that's why you're here in school to learn. That's why we're giving you the power keys to learning. Because we want you to be prepared and equipped. And as we look at this example of this runner, all of the three keys that we have talked about so far, discipline, diligence, and wisdom, are all being utilized, all being used by this runner. A runner has to have discipline. In other words, he has to practice self-control. He doesn't eat anything that he wants to eat. He has to discipline his body. He has to discipline it with regular exercise and workouts and practices. He has to discipline with hours and hours of training. That's part of the discipline. But not only discipline, he has to do it with diligence. In other words, with a real heart, with a real passion for it. And on all of this, he has to apply wisdom so that he can know the proper balance of the time he has to spend in order that he can do one thing and do other areas also of his life. We all are always confronted each day with many choices that we have to make. We are doing part of the work that God has wanted us to do. We are studying our lessons. We have to apply discipline there. We have to apply our diligence there. And then we have to use wisdom so that we can now balance our time and effort to when to study, when to be able to play, when to do chores at home, when to have fellowship or socials with your friends in social media. All of this needs wisdom. And that wisdom will train you through discipline and diligence to learn the proper things in life. This is very important as we start the day. And I pray that you will, as students, really take the time to really practice, to really, like an athlete, run with a passion to win. Because this is what it's all about. All of these great runners that we have had, all of these great sportsmen, all of those who are champions in the Olympics, gold medalists, they have gone through all of these three keys that we have. Remember, discipline, diligence, and wisdom to be able to win the prize that God has set for us in the contest we call life. Your life needs to demonstrate the very victory of God. As you go to your homeroom classes today, let this sink in and begin to allow the Spirit of God to speak to you. Have a great day and God bless you.